Excellent. Thank you very much, Neale, for that kind intro. I'm really excited for today. I believe some great insights will be shared to help everybody grow better businesses. 2022 is actually a really exciting year for the community management space, as I believe huge strides will be made in professionalizing the industry. And I trust that this masterclass, with all its amazing speakers, will just be a voice to add to that today. As we start the masterclass, let's just recap on the purpose of this masterclass. Why are we doing it? And it's really simple. It's all about collaborating with thought leaders, industry experts, to ultimately enhance and professionalize the industry. We travel a lot throughout the country, and as we meet clients and prospective clients, we've realized that there's a great hunger amongst industry to bring about change and transformation. Businesses want to create more value for clients and also ultimately be more valued by their clients. And this makes us at WeconnectU even more passionate to engage with everybody and to be part of the solutions. So the topic for today, reimagining the portfolio manager, is really a topic that has naturally kind of surfaced during and after many discussions and deliberations with clients on their journey to grow and professionalize their companies and ultimately the industry. It became evident that this topic will be actually a key driver in achieving that goal. Now, just before we continue, I just want to say that the purpose of this session is not to say that we already have all the answers. That's why we're saying we're going to reimagine it together. So we will definitely be pointing into some ideas, but we want to continue this discussion on a national platform. We believe the more people engage, the better solutions will be created, which will ultimately benefit every single person involved. So as a first step, what do we know about the industry? And maybe from a starting point, what do we know about the industry that attracts us to the industry? And the first thing is there is massive growth in this industry. South Africa is one of the fastest growing community living industries per capita in the world. We're not the biggest, we don't have the most units, but in terms of growth, we are one of the fastest in the world. And there's obviously multiple factors that contribute to this, such as crime, unfortunately, and economic pressures. And because of these factors, people are incentivized to share amenities such as common play areas, pools, and probably the most important one being security. And the result of that is growth. And we are seeing approximately 60,000 new community living units being built every single year. So that's incredible growth for the industry. The next is this industry has proven to be unbelievably resilient in the face of recessions. We've come out better and we've come out stronger every single time. And then lastly, and most recently, the industry has shown that it can actually navigate itself through the difficult waters of a pandemic. For the most part, community managers were able to continue their businesses without any major disruption. And I think the bottom line that we can gain from this is that this is a lucrative industry if you want to build a growing and a sustainable business. So now we understand the reasons why we would like to get involved in this industry. The question may be, is there any reason why not to? And the one thing that we all know is there is a perception, and it is really a perception, that the value we deliver is low. This is further proven by the low management fee or rate per unit that managing agents are many times expected to work for. Now, I've personally experienced this back in the day when we still had our management business. There was no doubt, and I might be a bit biased, but there was no doubt in my mind that we delivered immense value through highly skilled people. It's not every job that requires you to have specialized legal knowledge, a strong accounting abilities, interpersonal skills, project management skills, administrative skills, and so much more, and effectively all in this one person called the portfolio manager. So if it's true that we are so valuable, why is it that the perceived value is low? What could be the cause of this misconception? In our previous masterclasses, we highlighted the obvious reason being, or one of the obvious reasons being, value not communicated is value not perceived. And this resulted in a huge drive and a huge focus to start to showcase and report on all the value that we deliver in a monthly cycle, and not only on finances as we were all accustomed to in the past. We added to our monthly director and trustee reports things like compliance, utility usage recoveries, transfer prices achieved, insurance claims process, tasks completed and in progress, and so much more. And the question again is, did we resolve the issue? And I think generally there's no doubt that our clients appreciate us more, really because they started to gain a better understanding of everything we do. But did we really nail it? Did we actually become that valuable entity that we believe we are? And I actually don't think we can confidently say that we nailed it. And this made us realize there's more to this topic, and the search continued. So we soon realized that we were maybe asking the wrong question. The question was not, why are we undervalued? The question rather should be, who is the one we entrusted to communicate our value to the market? Who is the one that we entrusted to communicate our value to the market? Who is our primary value communicator? It goes without saying that if we can determine the primary value communicator, we would be able to change the narrative and over time be the valued industry that we know we are. So on the one side, we've got industry, and on the other side, we have the client base. And the person that we've entrusted to communicate and interact on our behalf is ultimately the portfolio manager. The portfolio manager is and has been our primary value communicator. Now, having been a portfolio manager myself and understanding the work that goes into managing communities, how is it that we have missed the mark? Why is the value getting lost in translation? And to gain a better understanding about this, we've consulted and had meetings with numerous portfolio managers to see if we can get to the bottom of this very, very important question. We asked them one very simple question. What do you do? And the answers were basically unanimous. The portfolio managers feel that they do everything. And then in a close second, we answer loads of emails. And then obviously they do a lot of stakeholder meetings. So our primary value communicator feels today that they are doing everything and then doing a lot of mails. So we wanted to understand this better, and we asked them to further unpack it for us. So what did they mean about everything? And they then said, let's unpack our email box just to gain this understanding. So they're getting about between on average 125 to 175 emails per day. This can be broken into 10% of those are payments to creditors typically. And then 45 are trustee or director correspondence, which includes procedural guidance and financial management, tasks emanating from board meeting, legal advice, deliverables as per contract. So that's all in the 45% trustee and director, which is really a high level guidance and skill level required. Then 25% are general owner queries with issues ranging from simple things like, how do I open my attached statement in the email? Please change my email address. To other operational things such as, please change my number on the cell to gate system. Then there's also maintenance requirements like a burst geyser or maybe a roof leak. And the list of general owner queries goes on. 10% is legal disputes. We'll hear a little bit more about that in another session today, and like dispute resolutions. And then another 10% is owner complaints. And this ranges from a dog barking, and obviously from their warnings and penalties need to be issued. Now, considering this, the portfolio manager really does do everything. I mean, he does from highly specialized legal and financial work to literally the most basic administrative task. And there's a good saying, unfortunately, if you are a jack of all trades, you will be at least perceived as a master of none. And this prompted a very important next question. Have we not made the portfolio manager a generalist when they should in fact be a specialist? Another way of looking at this is, if the portfolio manager is currently perceived as a generalist, how can we and what would it take to have him be perceived as a specialist? What is important to understand is, if we are to make this transition, we have to know the difference between a generalist and a specialist. Now let's look at a couple of pointers towards becoming a specialist. The first thing is, a specialist specializes in something, not everything. Now, I can hear many saying, but Danie, this is the nature of the job. You must do everything. And that might be true in the current ways and how things are currently working. But that's where we need to start to reimagine this whole thing. And just from our travels, I can say that there's already companies challenging this status quo, and that with great success. The second point is, a specialist equip themselves with the right knowledge and skills to execute on a world-class level. We know that it's hard to know everything of everything, and that's kind of where we are today. For the portfolio manager, they need to know a lot about a lot. But it's certainly attainable to know everything about something. So again, this cry to see whether it's going to be possible to narrow the scope and to give ourselves and the portfolio manager a better chance of success. And then thirdly, a specialist equips themselves with the right tools to execute on the highest level. Now, it was not long ago that me and my wife were expecting our third child. And as everybody knows, at 6 weeks, you go to the gynecologist and you do an ultrasound to see your baby. And that is great. But then at 12 weeks, you go to the specialist. And the value that you get from that visit is vastly different. What we could see on the screen in terms of the look of the baby at that point in time and the experience was absolutely mind-blowing. And that because of a far superior ultrasound machine, and obviously the expert knowledge together with that. So what is the tools that we believe portfolio managers will need to further improve themselves and take this step to become a specialist ultimately? The first one, together with all existing tools, we believe that smart dashboards will be a big breakthrough in the coming months. If you are professionally managing 20 to 30 communities, which effectively means that you are managing 20 to 30 companies and all the moving parts thereof, surely a state-of-the-art KPI dashboard is required if you are to produce specialist results. These dashboards must enable quick decision-making, accurate decision-making, highlight areas of concerns prior to it becoming a real problem, and so much more. But this is definitely one area that we can improve. The next one is meeting management tools. If we think about it, this is the one activity where you engage with your client directly. On average, we do about 5 meetings per client per year. So again, if you're doing between 20 to 30 communities, you'll have between 100 and 150 opportunities to engage with your client on a world-class level. And thinking about it, much of the other work we do is actually behind the scenes, but not meetings. If we can nail meetings, we've come a long way. So we need to find the tools that allow us to plan and execute and conclude meeting actions timelessly, efficiently, together with a great experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would like to conclude my session today by really just inviting industry to join the discussion, the innovative thoughts, and know that as we elevate the portfolio manager, our value will elevate and the whole value chain of industry will benefit. And so let's just all collectively buy into this process and see where it can take us. Neale, thank you very much. Over to you.